Domestic Contradictions, the continuing story of a disputatious experiment in building socialism in one room.
Episode 16, The Strongest Drug of All. The evening meal, at which an innocent question out of the mouths of babes and sucklings sets the cat among the pigeons and leads our 8 earnest communards step by step into the dark mazes of their own psyches.
Come on, I'm starving.
Righto, sit up, everyone. Dinner's ready.
What is it?
It's wait and see pie. Just sit up, Zach, will you?
It's not broccoli again, is it? I'm sick of broccoli and I hate it.
Oh, yuck. Zach. Look, Zach. Brown rice and vegetables.
I'm not having any. Yuck.
Don't talk like that, Zach, to someone who's worked her fingers to the bone for you.
Yeah, sit up and shut up, you two.
I don't like what's in the food.
It's full of sunshine and goodness. Now get it into you.
No. I'm going to go and play with my Legos.
And you come back and sit down.
I don't
So you don't like what's in the food, eh? I'll tell you what's in the food. The most important ingredient of all.
What?
Love. That's what's in it. And you'll eat it if it's the last thing you do.
All right. I'll have a bit of the rice.
Anyway, what is love?
Come on, Grace, what is it?
How should I know what it is?
Do you mean to say you've written all those songs about love and listened to endless bands singing about love and you still don't know what it is?
All right. Love is someone else's cold feet in the middle of the night.
You mean Conrad? Is that why
Zach.
you squeak in the night, Grace?
That's enough.
Zach.
Zach, eat your dinner.
Ah, come on, Con. Come on, fair go. The kid asked you a question. What do you reckon love is?
Love? Love is communism. Communism is the highest expression of love for the whole human race.
Yeah, then Joe Stalin was Casanova, eh, Con?
You don't love the ruling class, do you, Con? Sometimes a bullet in the head can be an expression of love.
Like putting a wounded dog out of its misery, you mean?
Well, something like that.
Dee loves a motorbike.
Well, there's love and love, you know.
Dee, do you love your motorbike more than you love me?
It's not quite the same thing, Annie.
A motorbike can't love you back.
And you can't read it a story when you put it to bed at night.
Oh, I don't know. What about Zen and the art of motorcycle maintenance, eh? That's put me to sleep many a time.
You Philistine.
At school, they make us say, I love God and my country.
How can you love God when he's not even real?
At school, you pretend. I saw you. You put your hand on your heart.
Well, I don't want to get into trouble, do I?
I love my country.
No, it's not enough, Cherry, just to love your country or your boyfriend or your girlfriend. You have to tune into the great life force and love every manifestation of it. There's a great organic force in the universe, you know.
Yeah, you reckon? You'd love a worm and an apple.
I would, too. I love plants and trees and the sky and people in the streets.
You love police?
Well,
But I reckon love is looking after number one.
Yeah, you would.
Well,
And
if
he
no, one,
finished those.
if no one else wants you, love is Mrs. Palmer and her 5 daughters.
Typical individualism, Clive.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, well, at least there's 5 of them, eh? You can't accuse me of the crime of being part of an exclusive couple. No, mate. Love is sex.
Clive,
didn't you
in
know
front of the children, how can you be so cynical?
Ah, it's not cynicism, you twit. Look, why fill their tiny minds with the same illusions we had stuffed into ours? How do you reckon we got ourselves into this mess we're in, anyhow?
This isn't a mess, Clive. This room hold is a microcosm of a larger, better society. We all love each other, don't we?
You call this love? The ideal's fine, but what about the reality?
of course we love each other.
Do you call it love when someone's always on your back to wash up or defrost the fridge or put the flaming bins out?
I wash up because I want to make the room pleasant for the people I love.
You're all right, Nige. It's the bludgers who get my back up.
That's right.
Take.
Ah, who are you talking about?
Well, how can you love someone who's got that sort of power over you?
Now we're getting somewhere. Love isn't sex. It's power.
Well, your motorbike must be the most loved in this room, Dee.
It all depends who's on top. If you're on the bottom, love's a kick in the ass.
What if you're on top?
Then you're the one who's doing the kicking. Take your pick. Kick or be kicked.
Jeez, Dee, you're an old snake.
We read a story at school about a man whose snake got in his sleeping bag in a tent.
Hey, Dee, I had a snake in my sleeping bag once somewhere up in Scotland, you remember?
Shut up, Clive.
Dee, do you love Clive?
Certainly not.
Well, why did you marry him?
It was different back then.
Yes, please.
Anyway, marriage isn't something you do, it's something that happens to you.
Yeah, it jumps you from behind.
Why don't you marry someone else, Clive?
Who, me? Get stuck with one woman again. Once burned, twice shy, Annie.
If you don't love Dee, why do you keep on living in the same
He
room?
never said he didn't love Dee, Zachy.
Oh, didn't I? Merely an oversight, I assure you. Hey, look, take the heat off me, will you?
Does going to bed with someone mean love?
Isn't the only reason for going to bed with someone to say you love them?
I get into Grace's bed because I get cold in the middle of the night, don't I, Gracie?
Hey, Cherry, what about those blokes you used to go up the coast with when you were 15?
Yeah.
In those panel vans with P plates. Surely you didn't love them.
Of course not, dummy. I just went along for the ride.
Gave them a use, you mean?
Well, they wanted to use me.
See? I told you. Love is power. I'm never going to love anybody. Love is yuck. Yeah, I saw it on TV. They kiss them, they yuck.
Well, I think love is caring for other people.
Another sugar, please.
Here you are, Nige. Look, the other grown-ups in this room care about you, Zac and Anne. Well, sometimes they do. That's love, isn't it?
But Dee told me once that she only looked after us because it was her duty.
Yes,
thanks,
that's
Annie.
it. Love is duty.
That means you must love the rubbish bins like you love Grace. Yeah, Connie does it with rubbish bins.
Duty? Con! I always knew that was how you felt about me.
Oh, well, if it's not duty, then it's pain.
Love is a toothache, eh, Con?
Don't you just sit there jeering, you backdoor man. The only pain you ever felt was from overindulgence in spine bashing.
I know what you mean, Con.
Grace, look, when I thought you'd gone off with that bloke to Los Angeles, I had a pain. Just here.
Oh, look.
In my heart.
Come on, break it down, Con. Come on, it's only a romance, you know.
Was it romance when you and Dee got married, Clive?
Just lay off, Zachy.
Did the wedding bells ring?
No, and the cash registers didn't either. These old man thought I was a fortune hunter and wouldn't even come to the wedding.
What a rat.
One bottle of champagne was enough for everyone there, remember, Clive? All 5 of us.
Yeah, and there's no photographic record in existence either. My dad took one picture of me and Dee standing in front of the bank, but he forgot to wind the film onto the spool and it never even came out.
What a shame.
Ah, well, it doesn't matter now, does it?
Did you have a veil and a bunch of flowers and throw them to the bridesmaid, Dee?
No, love. I borrowed an old dress from Clive's mum. What on earth's the matter, Clive?
Oh, look. A tear.
Good grief, he squeezed out a tear.
Oh, he's faking.
Don't just sit there. Catch it, someone.
Here, let it drip on this bit of paper.
There. Well, bugger me. That's the first time I've cried sober for 17 years. I remember the last time. It was a Friday. Here, Dee. You better have this.
Oh.
Hang on. Let me sign it. Here you are.
Clive, you've drawn a heart around it.
Oh, isn't that nice?
Ah, come on. Cut it out, you kids. You started all this. What are you going to ask next?
Does glass burn?
Is love really what makes the world go round? Or is it historical materialism? No, I think it's probably love. You may think I'm just a voice. I haven't even got a name. But I've got a heart and a body, just like everybody else. I'll put the microphone next to my heart. Can you hear that? It's very hard to love when you've got no one to talk to. Here I sit in my cork-lined booth, alone.
I love you.
Who said that?
I am your muse.
But only real artists have muses. Painters, actors, and musicians. A narrator is just a hack.
But that's what they want you to think. But thousands of listeners out there, they love you.
They do?
They hang on your every word.
But how can they love me if they don't know my name?
A name? Is that all you want? Your name shall be Boris.
Boris? Boris? I am Boris. Oh, I like that. Tune in next week for the next loving episode of Boris and the Domestic Contradictions.